Every game has its own campfire stories, its own myths and legends, its own creepypastas. Sonic.exe, Ben Drown, Lavender Town, and Minecraft is no different. In August of 2010, one 4chan user set out to create Minecraft's first very own creepypasta, inadvertently creating one of the most well-known legends to ever exist, and he named his creation Video fakes. Video fakes are exactly what you think they are. They are the thousands, millions of videos that are, Herobrine sightings, and most of them are fake. Now, as I said, a lot of these are obviously very fake, and are just made to get views, but that's not to say that there haven't been a couple that have just slipped through. Internet memes and machinimas. This is just talking about the multitude of memes and machinimas made about Herobrine. I want to talk in particular about the machinimas, because although there are some very well made ones with like good voice acting and scripting and whatever, there's also other ones. I'm talking about the YouTube kid stuff, the weird stuff that's like Kid Herobrine, or like Herobrine joins Monster School, or my favorite, Herobrine left Monster School, sad animation. Another fun fact is, in this animation, it's implied that Herobrine got some girl pregnant. I worry for the generation of kids who grew up watching YouTube Kids, because oh my god. Investigations. This ties in very closely with video fakes, but instead of just being a one-off special video, investigations are usually longer series which set out to try and prove Herobrine's existence. As I was researching this, I came across a series of videos called Minecraft Alpha Herobrine Investigations or something along those lines, and oh my god. If you want to feel like you're back in 2010, 2011 on that original like Herobrine wave, these are the videos to watch. They've got the Silent Hill music, they're using the papyrus font. Mwah! Oh my god, it is beautiful. The first appearance. The first appearance of Herobrine happened all the way back in 2010 on 4chan. An anonymous user posted an image to 4chan's VBoard along with a story. This one image contains most, if not all, of the canon Herobrine lore that we follow to this day. Several things, such as the 2x2 tunnels and Herobrine's supposed connection to Notch's dead brother, were in this original post that I didn't even realize was in there. Although nowadays this post is taken as canon and held in very high regard, back in the day no one even noticed it, let alone cared for it. That was until a certain Copeland came along, but we'll talk about him in a bit. Wikis and forums. This is just talking about the absolute amount of different wikis and forums that include or talk about Herobrine. Off the top of my head, you got like the creepypasta wiki, the Herobrine wiki, the villains wiki, the Minecraft wiki. The actual Minecraft Wikipedia page even mentions Herobrine. And on top of that, there's probably been billions of forum posts talking about him. Too many to even mention. Alpha versions. I'm not exactly sure what this means, but here's my best guess. The original Herobrine post was made in Minecraft Alpha version 1.0.16_02. Jesus. This, as well as Copeland's stream, which also took place in Minecraft Alpha, are the only two canon sightings of Herobrine. So it can be implied that the only versions Herobrine has ever been seen in are Alpha versions. However, despite this, the wiki never outright says it, and removed Herobrine is still in every update, so I don't know. And with all those fun facts out of the way, let's actually dive into the meat and potatoes of the iceberg. Let's start digging down into the tip. Removed Herobrine. I briefly touched on this like 10 seconds ago, but if you didn't know, at the end of every Minecraft changelog, they add a little tag, removed Herobrine. Entity 303. Oh boys! Entity 303 is perhaps the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. It makes absolutely no sense, and there's so much of it. But you know what? Okay. I don't want to overwrite you with my own biases and prejudices against Entity 303. Let me tell you the story. You can make your own opinions. Okay, so Notch himself at an undisclosed time, sometime before 2014, fired a random Mojang employee. This employee, furious at Mojang, vowed to take down Mojang and Minecraft as a whole. But right after saying this, literally the next line, it says that Entity 303 isn't actually just one person, but a group of people. So, are they all fired employees? Or do they all just random people who want revenge against Mojang? And again, why exactly? 303, or his full title, 303 Mojang.com 303. Real creative there, guys. Hacks worlds and does all the bad stuff and plans to end all of Minecraft by the year 2014. And I mean, the rest is history, guys. Oops, I guess Minecraft's dead. Yep, no more Minecraft. Sorry, guys, video over. After this, there's a mountain of lore. I mean, the wiki page itself is huge. But my main problem with it is that it reads like a fan fiction. Like at one stage it talks about Herobrine actually being good and how he was trying to help us and how we need to help him in order to save Minecraft. It's just like, come on. Okay, no hate obviously to anyone who likes this or who made this. It obviously has a bunch of work put into it and I respect that. What I just find so stupid though is that it's trying to, like, and this is their words, not mine, it's trying to be the new Herobrine, but it's losing literally everything that made Herobrine what he is. There's no mystery, there's no questioning, there's no like, is he actually good or bad, or there's no questioning anything. Everything about Entity 303 is a known fact, and we have pages of evidence to back it up. So, I don't get it. Have you seen the Herobrine?
Have you seen the Herobrine? Roams your world in the default skin. Roams your world in the default skin. Though he was removed, he shall rise again.
This song is just, well, it's incredible, but it's from 2012, and it's actually a parody of the old folk song, Have You Seen the Ghost of John? Or in some places, Have You Seen the Ghost of Tom? Now, I couldn't find the original source of this Minecraft parody, but the oldest version I could find was a Brazilian upload from August 31st, 2012. And then the most popular upload is from a channel called Bright Glowstone from October of that same year. Anyone who has any interest in Herobrine has likely heard this song, and it's just, I love it. It's so dumb to a certain extent. I mean, the lyrics don't even make sense. Have you seen the Herobrine? Just a weird way to say it, but I love it. You're gonna find that a lot when I'm going through this Iceberg, because as a child I used to do nothing but just watch hours and hours and hours of Herobrine videos. So a lot of this stuff I have a personal attachment to. It's the reason I decided to do this Iceberg in the first place. Like, it's just, oh, I love it. Herobrine mod. Yeah, small problem with this one. Which one? There are literally thousands of Herobrine mods. So yeah, I have no idea. But there are some new ones that I found by a guy called Toy, T-O-I-U. I'll leave his link up there. Beyond that, I could talk about any Herobrine mod, whether it's for Pocket Edition, PlayStation, PC, Java, it doesn't matter. They're all the same. They all do the same thing, and there's a million different versions, so just take your pick for whichever one you want this entry to mean. Herobrine in Minecraft Pocket Edition. There are a couple entries like this on the chart where it's just like Herobrine in and then name a version of Minecraft. So for most of these, what I'm planning on doing is talking about one specific sighting, which I personally have an attachment to because I probably watched it when I was young. And for Minecraft PE Edition, that is no different. This sighting comes all the way back from 2013, and since I first watched it, I have not stopped thinking about it. I'll be doing something and it'll just pop into my head and I'll think about it again. And judging by the view count, I'd say most of you are the same. So it starts off and it's this kid, he's crafting some diamond tools, and then he goes to check his Herobrine trap. You know, as you do. And as he's going to check, guess who he finds? The man himself, Herobrine. Who proceeds to slowly walk after him and then chase him down through his weirdly laid out mines. Like, this feels more like a giant maze than a mine shaft, but whatever. He's running. It's looking like the end. And then he ends up killing Herobrine.
He's dead.
Looking back at the video now, it's obviously just two friends faking it, but as a kid, I was convinced this was real. And, you know, even looking back now, it's really cute. And also, it's incredible how many views this got, which makes me think that a lot of other people also thought this was real when they were a kid. Herobrine lanes in the world. This is talking about, I think, the different types of tunnels Herobrine can make throughout your world. The original post said 2x2, but since then I've seen many variations. 1x2 is very popular. Also, it depends how they're lit up. Sometimes there's no lights, sometimes there's redstone torches. Parody videos. Although this could be talking about a lot of different things, I think in particular it's referencing the different types of music videos that Herobrine appeared in. You got Herobrine's Life, Take Me Down, The Herobrine, Cubeland, Wanted Men, and many, many more. Alternatively, this could also be talking about the like live action or Minecraft in real life videos that all seem to be made by one guy, or I guess one channel called Blister Cinema. As for the entry, it's one of those two. Seeds. So nowadays we actually have the original seed from the original 4chan post, which I'll talk about in a bit, but before that, there was so many videos which claimed to have the seeds that could spawn a Herobrine. It was always stuff like Herobrine or 666, or one of the more creative ones, Herobrine backwards, which is Enir Bore. Of course, none of these actually worked, but the reason they were picked was usually because they had like strange world generation, but no Herobrine, believe it or not. Totem. Oh baby! This is my area of expertise. So, along with there being seeds that could spawn a Herobrine, there were also different structures that claimed to do the same thing. There were a bunch of variations on the design, but the basic construction boiled down to gold blocks, netherrack, flint and steel, sometimes redstone torches, and, the most important part, the Herobrine block. You would then take this Herobrine block, place 2 gold blocks, a Herobrine block, netherite, and then light the top. This specific design became very popular because both the design and the Herobrine block were both featured in a mod that actually summoned Herobrine. A variation on this design was a more pyramid looking thing, with redstone torches and sometimes mossy cobble replacing the Herobrine block. This design was a lot more popular before the totem, I think, because this design existed before the mod was made, which popularized the pillar design. Beta versions. I'm not too sure. I'm guessing this has the same relation to the alpha version theory we covered earlier, but I can't think on the spot of any time we've had any canonical appearance of Herobrine in beta Minecraft. I mean, what doesn't help is that I've literally just written, I don't know, alpha versions part 2. Whew! Oh yeah, see these lights? I think we should change them. You know why we should change them? Because we're diving into shallow waters. Let's go with... There we go, a nice deep blue, okay. Herobrine joined the game. This is the message that would appear whenever Herobrine, or someone with the name Herobrine, would join your game. This was also the point in the iceberg where I noticed a little blemish at the bottom of the image. Yeah, a little blemish that said icebergcharts.com. And what is icebergcharts.com? Well, the literal holy grail of icebergs. Oh my god, let me just gush about this website for a bit. So not only can you, a person, create your own iceberg with a bunch of different templates, but you can also use it to link your entries to exact videos or websites, or you can just leave explanations directly on the entries. Oh my god, it's so good! Whoever made this, seriously, thank you so much, because this website is just incredible! Anyways, while clicking on this entry, it actually leads you to a Planet Minecraft page, which shows you a command that you can use to fake the Herobrine joined your game message. That's pretty cool. I'm still hyped that the Iceberg Chart websites exist, because oh my god, it's so handy. Dark Corners. Dark Corners is a YouTube channel started back in 2016 and is most well known for creepy gaming and more recently, clickbait. But back in the day, he actually made a couple semi-serious Herobrine investigations videos. In particular, I think this entry is referring to his Finding Herobrine in Minecraft documentary. This video is a compilation of 5 different sightings he had of Herobrine, while he was doing a Let's Play on an old Minecraft vanilla world. This series feels like oddly nostalgic to me, even though I never watched it before, and looking back now it's obviously faked, but I still like it for that reason alone. He did actually do a new Herobrine documentary series, but this one was 2 years later and it has much more of that clickbaity hyper YouTuber energy that it's 2 hours long and I managed to stomach 10 minutes before clicking off, so if you want to go and check it out, I recommend watching the original first and then you can try the new one, but overall, that's Dark Corners. Detective Craft 53. This is another YouTube channel, but this time in Portuguese. Because of that, I've had to run most, if not everything, through a translator, so take everything I say next with a grain of salt. It seems he's doing a Herobrine documentary series, and so far, there seem to be 2 parts. First one was 15 minutes long, and the second one was, I think, an hour long. Now, I would have actually watched these videos and seen what they're about, but I don't speak Portuguese, so, small problem. Herobrine controls mobs. Although this wasn't featured in the original 4chan post, this has become a common staple of the modern Herobrine mythos. In Dark Corners' Herobrine documentary series, for example, Herobrine would stop mob spawning every time he was near. Herobrine is Notch's dead brother. Here we go. This is a theory that was mentioned in the original 4chan post. OP talks about how after he couldn't get a message through to the Minecraft forums, he was contacted by a group of people who've had similar experiences. In this email chain, they talk about different sightings and experiences they've had, and try to figure out what the hell this Herobrine entity really is. Some people in this group, supposedly, end up finding a link between the name Herobrine and a Swedish gamer, who happens to be the brother of a certain Marcus Notch person. OP then goes on to email Notch about this, to which he responds, "I did, but he is no longer with us." This is one of the cornerstones of the original Herobrine post, and is set as evidence of what Herobrine really is, Notch's dead brother, that is somehow imbued or preserved inside the game. However, in January of 2011, after getting countless numbers of emails and tweets about it, Notch posted this on his Twitter: "Herobrine isn't real in any way, no. I have never had a brother. Well, there's a half-brother I never meet, and he's not in the game." Alright, I'm sorry, but the jumper's coming off. Here we go. It is roasting in this room, and there's a lawnmower outside, so I can't actually open the window. So you're gonna have to do without the yellow hoodie. Herobrine on Xbox 360. This is another one of those entries that is just saying that Herobrine is on Xbox 360 edition. So, like the last one, I want to talk about a specific sighting that I loved as a tiny child. Before that, however, I want to acknowledge that it could also be referring to a little tooltip that would appear in older versions of Minecraft's loading screen. These would usually just be like, oh, you can craft a pickaxe, or did you know ocelots like fish? But one entry was, we think 4J Studios, the guys who did the original Minecraft console port, have removed Herobrine from the Xbox 360 console game, but we're not too sure. Also, Xbox 360 would just be replaced with like PlayStation 3 or Nintendo Switch or whatever for different versions of the game. This is adorable and gives me the same vibes as like the removed Herobrine that we covered earlier. But now, the sighting. This sighting comes from a video all the way back in May of 2013 called Herobrine Sightings on Minecraft Xbox 360 Edition. It follows 2 friends, TVR Central and Van Q Wisher, as they document their experience playing on a super flat world. While they started playing, everything was normal, but after a while they, or should I say TVR, begins noticing something strange. Randomly being poisoned, trying to be trapped in bedrock out of thin air, and even their base being burnt down. Strangely though, his friend Van Q Wisher always seems to be gone whenever these things start happening. What are the chances? I love this video. Like, it's so obviously fake, and every time Herobrine shows up, he always goes like, my friend got teleported away. And even if you wanted to overlook that, during a sped up montage section, they literally show themselves changing into the exact Herobrine skin. Like, why didn't he cut this out? And then there's the voiceover. Oh my god, the voiceover. Obviously what this guy did was he filmed himself and his friend doing the whole stunt. Then he brought it into Windows Movie Maker, sped up things where nothing happened, and then clicked the add voiceover button and did the entire video's voiceover in one take. And oh my god, it was definitely the first take. And then of course the little cherry on top is the ending that is just beautifully overdramatic.
I believe that he exists, and he's watching you. He's watching everyone.
Oh, so good. I love this video. Or Herobrine. Or Herobrine is one of the weirdest places I've ever been. It was created 10 years ago, around August of 2011, but the first post wasn't made until September 23rd of 2013. 2 years later. Taking a look into the Wayback Machine, it seemed that this place was originally meant to be a serious subreddit for Herobrine discussion, but over time just completely devolved into memes and shitposts. I mean, the description used to be serious, but now it's, and I'm quoting here, "Racism is alive in the galaxy, black holes matter." And like the title tag thing is "Holla holla holla pop a bottle." What's weird though is that if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's the first post made 8 years ago, then a 3-year time gap before the next post. But going back in the Wayback Machine, there used to be posts there in that 3-year time gap. So why was there a 3-year gap of deleted posts? Then after this 3-year time gap, everything stays relatively serious. There's still the odd shitposting and memes, but it's staying relatively serious. Until a year ago, when it just completely devolves. It's not uncommon to hear of subreddits just not getting popular and just phasing out of existence, but to have a subreddit not really be that popular to begin with, but then to stay alive by just being shitposting and memes, it feels weird. Overall though, there's just a lot of weird stuff besides that. Like, what with the title and the description? Why was there a 3-year time gap of posts? Like, what is going on here? Alright, we're finally starting to reach the weirder stuff. And now, we're gonna keep that going with the shaft. Copeland. Copeland is the only other canonical source of Herobrine besides the original 4chan post. His one stream, as well as a few events afterwards, pretty much solidified the modern Herobrine mythos and made him as popular as he is today. Now, you all probably know about Copeland, but just one more time, let me cover it. On August 30th, 2010, Copeland was streaming some solo Minecraft playthroughs. Previous to this, he'd been posting a couple of screenshots of his world, and if you looked closely, in several of these screenshots, Herobrine could be seen. Remember, at this time, very few people had actually heard of the original 4chan post. Copeland happened to be one of them. So many people had never seen or even heard of a Herobrine ever before. The stream seemed to be going normal until at 20 minutes and 45 seconds exactly, this famous interaction took place. Looking back now, it may be obvious to point out how this is fake, but back in the day, with old video streaming quality and the fact that something like this had pretty much never happened in Minecraft before, it left a lot of people convinced this was real. Later on, fellow Brocraft streamer Pattymus livestreamed his own interaction with Herobrine, this time with him freestanding over a lava pool. Pattymus' stream went pretty much exactly the same as Copeland's. He interacted with Herobrine, died, the stream crashed, and then came back online a few minutes later, to which Herobrine had disappeared. During the second stream, however, Pattymus was heard in the background talking to his wife about how he was faking the entire thing. The chat was obviously furious, and after a while, Pattymus just ended streaming. Later on, Copeland showed up in his chat and started posting strange links. These links led to a site, on which you could see Steve's face with weirdly realistic eyes, followed by a string of text. Decrypting these characters, the script read, "It has been reported that some victims of torture during the act would retreat into a fantasy world from which they would not wake up. In this catatonic state, the victim lived in a world just like the normal one, except they weren't being tortured. The only way that they would realize they needed to wake up was a note they found in their fantasy world. It would tell them about their condition and tell them to wake up. even then, it would often take months until they were ready to discard their fantasy world and please wake up. This page helped to keep the legitimacy of Herobrine alive. And after Pattymus's disastrous stream, Copeland continued to support the idea that Herobrine was in fact real. To this day, Copeland still supports the idea that Herobrine is real, and he's credited with largely keeping the Herobrine rumor alive and making it as popular as it is today. Since the original stream, he's talked many times about how he actually faked the original sighting by using a painting. The full interview is over on the Minecraft wiki, which I'll link up here. Now, like I said, many of you probably already know this, so I quickly wanted to talk about the actual footage itself. This clip, which I'm sure many of you have already seen, isn't actually the original stream at all. It's actually a recreation. We know this because in the version of Alpha it claims to be, there actually was no sprinting, and yet the player character sprints. The original Copeland stream has been declared as lost media. Now, we know what it looks like because of these many different screenshots, but the actual video itself seems to be completely gone. Humanoid. This is a common word used to describe Herobrine. It comes from an old cut Minecraft mob called the Human. It was a sort of beta or trial version of what the villager would become. Humans could not break or create blocks and merely walked in slightly incomplete circles while jumping occasionally. Humans, while being affected by solid blocks, weren't affected by liquids. They could walk through them as if they were just air. The human would spawn from the player after pressing a certain key, and even if the player changes their skin, the human mob would always spawn with the Steve skin. Going off this description, it's not too much of a jump to suggest that maybe Herobrine is just a bugged or incomplete version of the human mob. It also supports the idea that Herobrine is only in beta and alpha versions of Minecraft, as by version 1.0, all code associated with the human had been deleted or reused. Strange things in 2011 Minecraft trailer. Oh, the 2011 Minecraft trailer. I have watched this thing, and I'm not even joking, like 50 to 100 times. I was addicted to it as a kid, and I don't even know why. However, despite that, something I, and probably many of you, haven't noticed is certain details that would kind of hint towards Herobrine, or at least hint at something creepier going on. So, 1. During the desert scene, Steve is actually standing on an upside down cross. 2. During this cave sequence, if you look closely, Steve's eyes actually turn white. And part 3, during this zombie fight, if you look between the trees, there's this strange, almost like creature head or something in the background. Overall, these details are definitely strange and hint at something stranger going on in this trailer. However, I'm gonna ruin all the fun and debunk all 3 of these. Number 1, the whole desert thing. If you look closely, it's just random terrain generation. It is sort of lucky that it got a cross, but also this shape is seen in a bunch of Minecraft terrain generation. It just kind of happens. Number 2, in this cave sequence, his eyes did not turn white. He's just really far away, so it's hard to tell colors. So, yeah, no. And 3, this strange creature during the zombie fight. Now, at first, to me, this was one of the most, strongest points of evidence as to something weird going on in this trailer, but after, staring at it and thinking about it for a long time, I think what happened here is we're seeing a bunch of leaves, sort of joining together or seeing through to sand. So we are seeing weird shapes in the leaves, and then the sand behind is what's bringing out the different, the eyes and the mouth and stuff. Hello, so yesterday I stopped recording mid-tier, so here we are, day 2. That's why the lighting, framing, and a couple other things are probably a little bit different, so I just thought I'd let you know. The change isn't so just completely god-awful. Canonical versus community. As you've probably noticed, there are many differences to the canon Herobrine and the community version of Herobrine. Way too many to cover all in one section, but I'll hop through a few. Interactions. In the canon, Herobrine is only capable of breaking and placing blocks. In the community, Herobrine can break and place blocks, but can also possess passive mobs. As well as that, he sometimes has access to blocks that you wouldn't normally be able to get in survival mode, such as bedrock. Movement. In the canon, Herobrine is seen walking away from the player. From this, it can also imply that he can run. He may also be capable of teleportation, as seen in Copeland's stream, but this could also be explained away by saying he just used his tunnel network. In the community, he can teleport freely at will, like an Enderman. As well as this, many sources have him being able to just like float through blocks, almost as if he's in spectator mode. And finally, intent. In the canon, Herobrine is much more like a stalker. He simply watches from afar, not wanting to interact or interfere with the player at all. In the community's version, however, he's much more vengeful. He's usually quite angry, wanting to trap or kill the player, and is always trying to steal their items. The original sighting seed. Okay, this one's really cool. So recently, this image, the original one, the seed for this world was found. It was found, well, by a group of people, but it was discovered by Andrew_55 or K-Minster. There's a big long story to this that I don't have time to explain, but if you do want to learn more, I recommend checking out Ant Venom's video up there. Okay, and to finish out this tier, we have Herobrine x Steve ship.
I will burn this planet down before I spend another minute living among these animals.
1.16 removed Herobrine absence. As I've mentioned before, the line removed Herobrine has been in every Minecraft update, all the way back since beta 1.6.6. However, recently, in update 1.16, that line was completely absent from the changelog. Some fans thought this was just intentional, to line up with the theme of the update, that being the Nether update. But this line is still absent in the 1.17 changelog, so maybe they've just given up trying to remove Herobrine. Herobrine in PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3 edition. This is just another one of those entries talking about Herobrine being in a version of Minecraft, but unlike the previous two, I haven't actually watched any videos of Herobrine sightings in PS3 or 4 edition. So small problem there. But while looking for like a new one to watch for this video, I could only find a bunch of like spawner tutorial videos, you know? No actual sightings, so I don't know, I guess nothing for this entry. Lost versions. Minecraft has been through many updates throughout its 12 years of existence, and while many of these versions are readily accessible, there are quite a few that aren't. All of these versions would be completely lost to time if it wasn't for a group of dedicated individuals trying their best to preserve it. OmniArchive is a group of people dedicated to doing just that, and wow, are they dedicated. What makes this even more impressive is that, unlike other games, Minecraft has been released on like every platform imaginable, and OmniArchive wants to archive all of them. Everything! From old Java like beta and alpha versions all the way up to like Nintendo 3DS and Fire TV versions. They have two giant spreadsheets documenting every version of Minecraft they know of and which ones they've been able to archive or not, and I recommend you go check it out. Anyways, what is this to do with Herobrine? Well, it should be fairly obvious. Many of these versions, especially old Java beta and alphas, have just been completely lost to time. So maybe these versions are where Herobrine hides. MHF Herobrine. MHF stands for Mark's Head Format, which are a series of created accounts made by senior Mojang employee Mark Notch Person. That was all incorrect information, but you wouldn't know that because you can't read the script. MHF stands for Mark's Head Format, which is a catalogue of accounts created by senior Mojang employee Mark Watson. These accounts were created with certain skins and were intended for map makers to use. This way, they could use these skins to add little details without having to worry about the skins changing over time. Recent changes to Minecraft actually make it so you don't have to worry about skins changing anymore, but the catalogue still exists nonetheless. Each account starts with MHF underscore something, so it's like MHF Pig, MHF Pumpkin, and of course, MHF Herobrine. Patimus, you already know who this is, I talked about him earlier, but one interesting thing to note is, like Copeland's original stream, Patimus's original stream is also completely gone. And also, there's no recreation. No one even tried to recreate it at the time, so we have no idea what this stream even looked like. There's not even any screenshots of the stream, so we have literally no idea what it looked like. The only way we know what happened is from eyewitness accounts. Disc 11 Spectrogram. Disc 11 is that one disc we were all scared of as kids. While all the other discs are happy little melodies, Disc 11 is a weird story that sounds like someone's almost being chased. The disc's meaning has been argued over for years, and it's way too much to cover in this video. But YouTuber Wifeys has made a great video, which I will link right up there. But what I do want to talk about is Disc 11's spectrogram. A spectrogram is essentially just a way of visualizing the strength or loudness of a sound over time. At least according to Google. When you run Disc 11 through a spectrogram, you get this. Now, what's immediately noticeable are the numbers. 1, 2, 4, 1, 8. But what do they mean? Well, 12 is the ASCII hexadecimal number for C. So, C418. The signature of composer Daniel Rosenfield, who made this track as well as all the songs in Minecraft. Which is a cool little Easter egg, but what's more important to us is the face over on the left hand side. It's been debated for ages what this is, but the two likeliest candidates are either a creeper or Herobrine. This could mean that the events that take place on the disc are happening to or because of Herobrine. Herobrine could possibly be the person breathing on the disc who eventually gets blown up by the end. Maybe that's what caused him to be this ghostly entity that he is today. Alternatively, maybe that explosion at the end is someone trying to escape Herobrine after they learned too much or something like that. And now, we arrive at the very last bit of ice on the iceberg before we dive deeper. The fossils. Alright, you know what? I think it's time for a color change. And I think... Oh, whoa, buddy. Oh yeah, I think we're bringing out the red. There's a lot more LED stuff, but you can't actually see it because this camera can only see like a tiny bit and I'm always blocking it, but there is a lot more LEDs. Dead miner bug. This is not an official bug, but a sort of joint experience. Essentially, while exploring underground, many players have claimed they've heard weird eerie noises. But not just the normal underground eerie noises, it was as if someone was walking or even mining behind them. Some players have claimed to die randomly in caves even though there's no mobs around, as if they were attacked by someone or something. Copeland testimony. I already touched on this briefly, it's just the email exchange Copeland had with an admin at I think the Minecraft wiki or something. He just goes through everything that he did to set up the Herobrine stunt and how he did it and like leading up to it. It's very interesting, so if that does sound interesting, again, it's linked I think below. I forget where I pointed to last time, but it's linked somewhere. Yeah. Herobrine NSFW. Do not research, you bastard. This entry is obviously fake. I mean, doesn't link to anything. Hovering over it just gives you the quote, really? So it's fake. But I love it nonetheless, because not only is it just a do not research entry, but they threw in the you bastard, like what? Herobrine in Nintendo Switch Rage Elixir. Rage Elixir is a YouTube channel that specializes in doing mostly Minecraft content. Back in 2017, he did a survival Minecraft series with him and fellow YouTuber AA12. This series starts out normal enough, but then a horrible entity starts haunting their game. That's right, bad Wi-Fi. Yeah, so halfway through the series, they just start disconnecting and can't join the same world. And then the last two videos are essentially just them going, guys, we can't connect. Damn, I guess Herobrine must be involved. Oh my god. Damn, that sucks, guys. Well, series over. So overall, they didn't really find anything. I think the closest they came was in the intro to one video. He like photoshopped an image of Herobrine onto a certain thing, but that was kind of it. The rest were just Wi-Fi problems. One thing I do want to talk about though is the sort of like episode 0, or I guess the video that came before he started the series, where he talked to people and asked would they want to see the series actually become a thing. In this video, Rage Elixir talks about how he thinks Herobrine is in Minecraft Switch Edition because of the tooltip we talked about, which definitely isn't copy and pasted across every single version of Minecraft Console Edition, but you know, whatever. And then he asks viewers if they'd want to see it before ending the video. Now, the way the video is structured, right, it almost sounds like there's meant to be a Herobrine sighting in this video that he doesn't mention, and then you scroll into the comments and people are like, oh my god, yeah, at 4 minutes 22 seconds, look in the background, look, it's over there. You know, it's meant to be, it feels like there should be a Herobrine sighting in this video, because he'd post this type of video, people would, like, it'd be really obvious, people would find the Herobrine, and then that would be his excuse to start the series and get people, you know, enthralled. But no, it's just a really weirdly structured 6-minute video for some reason. At least as far as I can tell. I've watched the video a couple times and I can't see anything, any Herobrines anywhere. Maybe there is one just like really well hidden, but since his content is mostly aimed at kids, I thought he'd make it way easier. Here, I'll leave a link below, you guys can take your own shots at it, maybe I couldn't see it, but overall, just a strange video. Herobrine.com. So, typing into your browser, you're brought to a weird banner or ad in Chinese. Running this to a translator, and keep in mind this is going through a sort of sketchy translator I got on my phone, so it might not be super accurate, but it's the best I could do. If anyone actually speaks Chinese, please translate it properly. Scan code to receive red envelope. Use Alipay to receive payment every day. Dare to sweep and pay. Best 99. Open Alipay, scan. Searching up Alipay red envelope actually brings up many different sites talking about this. Apparently, this is sort of like a marketing campaign that Alipay launched outside of China in 2018. If a shop owner accepted Alipay, they could download this image and then stick it up in their shop. This could then be scanned by Alipay users for a discount in store. Alipay itself is essentially just like an e-wallet where you can store your money on your phone. So my best guess for what this is that when a shop owner would say, alright, I want to join Alipay, they'd be sent a link to this website where they could then print off the image and stick it up. As for why it's Herobrine.com, I have no idea. Mojang lied that Herobrine does not exist to gain popularity. Hovering over the entry itself, it gives this explanation, and I didn't write it down, so I'll just put it on the screen right now and you can all read it. There it is. Pretty cool. So, I don't know. I kind of understand where the creator's coming from with this, but back in 2012, Minecraft was already exploding anyway, just because it was a fun-ass game. And I'm sure Herobrine helped some people get into it, but overall, I don't think it had a huge helping, and definitely not enough to where Mojang would even think about lying about his existence to try and boost the popularity of the game. You know what I'm gonna do? This is gonna look sick. Herobrine Power Rangers. So, clicking on this one just links you to this skin page. Like, it's called Nova Skin. I've never used this website, but it's just like a skin page. And it links directly to this Rainbow Herobrine skin. I mean, come on, focus. There you go. Which, I mean, that's cool, I guess. But checking the Reddit comments, it seems the creator was actually trying to talk about the different types of Herobrine in general. So, you know what? Let's take a trip over to Skindex and take a look at all these different versions of Herobrine. Here we got Suit Tuxedo Herobrine, looking dashing as always. We got Demonic Herobrine. Ooh, look at that spooky boy. We have Gamer Herobrine. Oh yeah, look at him. Look at look at those gamer gloves. Oh my god. Enthurbrine? Enthurbrine? I'm not sure how you'd say that. It's a mix of two different Herobrines, it seems. An Ender version and then a Nether version. And of course, I think it's only fair we finish out with a very festive Christmas Brine. Look at him, Santa Brine. What a beautiful boy. The supposed first Herobrine video. This is very interesting. It links to a video by channel Yamuk, and then in the intro, it says the channel name is Rhino73. Either way, this video is from the 25th of November 2010. One of the very earliest videos that I think even exists online. This video is really interesting, so it actually documents several different Herobrine encounters. Obviously it has the first 4chan one, it also touches on Copeland's one, but it also touches on many other different Herobrine sightings, which I don't actually know where he got these from. Also, what's very interesting is in the description it reads, "Hey guys, in this video I explain who the legendary Herobrine is." Legendary. So even in the same year the original rumor was spread, he'd already began to acclaim legendary status. This is very interesting to go back and watch because I mean it raises so many questions as to whether or not this is the first Herobrine video ever made, and most of all where it came from really. Is this a re-upload? Or did the guy just change his channel name over time? I don't actually know. Translated post from Copeland's website. I think this is just talking about the Copeland website again, with the weird eyes and the translated text. But I don't know why it brought it up for like a third time. Clicking on this doesn't lead you anywhere, there's no hover over explanation, so I have no idea what they're talking about besides that post I already talked about, which is the, you know, wake up one. Herobrine.mp4. Now, according to the creator, this is meant to reference several weird, strange videos under this title that can be found on YouTube. He links a couple in the post, which are playing on screen right now, but these don't have a lot to them. They seem strange and almost like part of a larger ARG or something. But, as far as I can tell, no. Searching this on YouTube myself, I could only find a handful of videos, and the majority of these were just memes and shitposts. What's even stranger is that I couldn't actually find that original video that the creator kept linking in the Reddit post. Overall, this one seems very mysterious, but I couldn't find anything, so instead, here's a handful of my reactions to some of my favorites.
Oh my god, guys. It's raining right now, but I'm gonna go outside for no reason at all. Oh man, this is so creepy, I'm getting wet. Wait, Herobrine? Thank you so much for the diamond.
It's a freaking Dark Souls character.
Herobrine pulling up in the fucking...
What the heck? He just walks out with a freaking silent scar, dude.
And that's the Herobrine Iceberg. Oh my god, my back is sore. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. This was it's hopefully shorter Iceberg than usual. I just thought it was fun, and like I said way earlier on in the video, I've been researching Herobrine since I was like 2 years old. So when I first saw this Iceberg, which was like 30 minutes after it had been posted to Reddit, I was like, I need to cover this. So here it is. If you liked it, please consider subscribing and liking and doing all that jazz. If you really want to see more, again, go follow my Twitch, Big Marsh TV. I stream Wednesdays and Saturdays at around 8 p.m. GMT. If you don't want to watch live streams though, you can join the Discord, my Twitter, or my Instagram, which are all linked below. And with all that being said, I hope you have a great day. We're done, boys. Pack it up. Oh.